What's up, guys? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So, coming to you today, want to discuss I'm going to do the preview and prediction of the Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Maurice Hooker DAZN card that's taking place Saturday, March 20th on DAZN, this Saturday coming up. I believe the whole card kicks off around 5 o'clock. Not much on the undercard, a little bit to get into. But again, guys, if you like my channel, you like my page, give me a thumbs up, positive comment, subscribe to the channel. That would be the best thing. I'd appreciate that. I appreciate any kind of support. And if you don't like it, thumbs down, and hey, leave a negative comment if you really don't like it, because I appreciate any kind of feedback, any kind of reaction. I do appreciate. It only helps me grow stronger and get bigger, and that's what I want, to pump out the information to everybody. So all that being said, let's jump into this card taking place Saturday on DAZN. The undercard is not much to talk about. I think Amanda Serrano is defending her women's title, so you can check that out on the undercard. I might have that wrong. I think it's Annabelle something. I don't know. I think I read a couple different things. I'm not really that into women's boxing, but if it's a big enough fight, I'll announce if it's on the card or not. There is a women's title fight on this card. Let's just say that. Okay, so but the rest of the card is the co-feature took a hit, man. I was looking forward to seeing Pablo Cesar Cano coming back, especially against Jonathan Navarro, the undefeated prospect on the rise. But Cano had to pull out with an injury, so Jonathan Navarro is still going to go ahead. I didn't even bother to look at who he's fighting because it's just a stay busy opponent now. But Navarro's decent, at 140 pounds. He's a decent fighter. I think he's 140 or 147 right in that area, because that's where Cano fights. But, Navarro, he was getting ready for a big-time opponent, his biggest. Don't overlook the next guy. I think he's 17-0, 9 knockouts, not a bad record, not a bad resume. I mean, he's a prospect. His resume is not great, but he's beating everybody. So, decent talent. So check him out. He should get a win here. I'm predicting a win by stoppage victory, and he'll stay undefeated and keep moving forward. So Jonathan Navarro in the co-feature. Now the main event. The main event is a really good fight. I think it's considering it's not a title fight, I think it's the best fight of the day, the best matchup. Undefeated Virgil Ortiz Jr. taking on former 140-pound champion Maurice Hooker. Ortiz is coming into this one. This is his biggest opponent in terms of name recognition to get on his resume. His resume so far is just a bunch of, kind of stepping stone guys to build his record. He fights for Golden Boy, so he's having trouble getting opponents with Golden Boy, because the welterweight division, 147, is controlled by the PBC and Al Heyman. So it's been tough on him to try to get opponents, but he continues to move up the ladder, and his talent and his, projection of what people think he's going to be is huge. And, we're going to see against Hooker, who is probably the most talented fighter that he has faced so far, and still close to his prime in Hooker that he's fought so far. Hooker, the former champ, he's coming in the underdog, but don't sleep on Maurice Hooker. Now, this fight could end quick. We've seen Hooker get hurt in the second round against Alex Saucedo a couple years ago. Almost got stopped and came back and scored the knockout, but he got hurt early. Ortiz got more power than Saucedo for sure. He catches Hooker the right way, it could be over early in the fight. But Hooker is a good boxer, and the best part of Hooker fighting at welterweight is this is where he's most comfortable. He is happy with this weight. He is so happy with this weight that he passed on bigger fights at 140 or even catch weights, like with Regis Prograis. They were supposed to fight last year originally at 144, and Then, after Corona and everything got put back, he demanded the fight take place at 145, and Prograis still wanted 144, so they could not decide over 1 pound, and Hooker is the lesser name than Prograis. So you would think that Hooker would just say, fuck it, it's only 1 pound, I'll fight Prograis. Hooker is so hell-bent on moving to 147, though. It's such a better weight for him that he passed on a huge fight with Prograis over 1 pound because he feels that much more comfortable fighting at welterweight. And, you know, he has a punch, he has some power, and he has some good boxing ability. He is a good boxer. So you're going to see an interesting matchup here in this fight. Now, you know, what do I think the result's going to be? Well, I think Virgil Ortiz is just too good. I think his talent and his projection is on point. And, you know, he wants the big fish. He's calling out Terrence Crawford. You know, that's a big deal right there. Crawford is the man. He's undefeated. And it's a makeable fight as long as Crawford's with, you know, top rank. So, you know, if he's talking about facing the big boys and wanting to go after them, then he's pumped up. And his only issue is just don't overlook Maurice Hooker and take a look at him as a guy that is just a pushover. Maurice Hooker is out of Crawford's camp. He can fight. And Virgil Ortiz needs to not overlook him. I don't think he will, though. I think Virgil Ortiz is coming for blood. I think he's going to break down and stop Maurice Hooker in the middle rounds. It could end early, could end a little later. I don't think it's going to a decision. I don't. I think he's going to win by knockout. So that's my prediction on the fight. But Maurice Hooker, I could see him winning. I could see him catching Ortiz and surprising him. He's got power. He might be able to do it. You know, and I could also see him possibly squeaking out a decision if he could figure out a way to outbox Ortiz. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is around a 70-30 to 80-20 favorite for Ortiz. And I think he's going to get Hooker out of there and get the win. But again, don't sleep on the former champ, Maurice Hooker. So that's it. That's Saturday's DAZN preview for the main event, Virgil Ortiz Jr. against Maurice Hooker, a welterweight showdown at 147. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.